As both opportunity and competition within the real estate market begin to heat up, it's more important than ever for agents to figure out how to get an edge. That means figuring out how to scale your efforts, reduce your wasted time, build better connections with clients, and overall find ways to get better results. Over the last few years, and especially during the COVID pandemic, people realized that a lot of what they were doing in person could be done just as easily remotely, and sometimes even more effectively. People got a moment to reflect, and many came to a fairly sensible conclusion. Time is precious. That means they want to spend less time doing things like commuting and more time doing things that they know are going to provide value directly to them. Guess what? The same frustrations and motivations are also impacting the real estate market, both on the buyer side and on the agent side. Prospective buyers want to be absolutely sure that a space matched their requirements before they're willing to put in the effort to visit it in person. They don't want to carve time out of their busy schedule, drive to a listing, try to find parking, try to meet up with an agent, and deal with all the other things that could potentially go wrong with visiting a property in person, only to find that the property doesn't match what they want. Many prospective buyers would prefer to have a solution that would allow them to view the property remotely so they could build trust in both the agent and the property that they're viewing before they invest the time in visiting it in person. In a similar fashion, agents don't want to waste their time doing useless in-person viewings, dealing with traffic, having to deal with potential late clients or even worse, no-shows, only to find that a client would never have been interested in actually purchasing or leasing that property. More importantly, top agents realize that there's an opportunity cost associated with every wasted trip. They could have been spending their time doing more productive work that in the end would have resulted in additional sales for them. So what exists to help provide remote solutions to these problems? Well, at first you may be thinking virtual tours. And it's true, traditional photo-based tours did initially provide a solution to some of these problems. These are the tours that are created by stitching together 360-degree photos to make an interactive 3D tour. However, there are a couple of issues with this type of approach. The first issue is time and complexity. Capturing a property to create a virtual tour is a very laborious task when you're dealing with photo-based tours. It's even laborious to talk about it. You have to go and take your tripod, set up the camera, and do a panoramic photo. And then you have to make sure that everything is clear and out of the way of the photo as it's being taken. And for a single property, you may need to take more than 50 panoramic photos in order to have enough hotspots where the jumps between locations isn't too jarring for the viewer. This is a process that can take hours to sometimes days if you want to do well. The other issue is that this virtual tour that is being created is agent agnostic, which means unless you have exclusive rights to a listing, this asset that you're creating may generate interest in the property, but it may not generate interest in the actual agent or agency that spent the time to actually develop and make the tour. So what is the solution? This is where technology such as MaJaView is a game changer. Instead of static pictures, you create a virtual tour from a video giving an actual walkthrough of the property. This captures sights, sounds, emotion, and the agent actually giving the pitch describing the property and its benefits. This is very important because no longer is the tour agent agnostic. It becomes a sales and marketing tool that allows the viewer to build a connection and build trust as an experienced agent walks them through a property, demonstrating their knowledge and expertise that they can provide if this particular viewer goes with them. How helpful would it be if every lead that you got, either through a property portal or through your company website, where the person had gone through the virtual tour, is a warmer lead and already closer to buying because they know what they're interested in and they know what they're getting into? To see what I mean, let's walk through the process. To capture a property, you simply record yourself giving a walkthrough of the property, utilizing either a simple phone camera, such as an iPhone or Android, or utilizing a 360 camera like an Insta360 One X2 or X3. These types of 360 cameras are now very consumer friendly. The MaJaView online editor then allows you to integrate this video with an interactive map that can be used to show your current location within the property, as well as be used for simple navigation. If the viewer wants to go to the kitchen, they can simply click on that part of the property. This is also an easier approach for the viewer, as the viewer can view the entire tour with a single click and just sit and relax as the tour is played. For 360-degree videos, things get really cool. The viewer can view the tour in automatic mode, in which case their view of the tour is automatically panned to the specific highlights as defined by the creator. However, at any point, they can switch over to Explore 360 mode and look around at whatever they want to within the tour itself. No longer do they have these weird hotspots. They can now look around in full 360-degree freedom throughout the entire walkthrough of the tour. Once the tour is finally created, they can be shared directly via a link, or they can be embedded on the company website or property portal. For example, here in UAE, they can be embedded on Property Finder or Beirut. At this point, you may be saying, okay, Tom, this sounds like cool features, but how does this help me become a more effective real estate agent? First of all, let's start off with logistics. Capture can now be done in real time versus hours or sometimes days with photo-based tours. In addition, the actual capture process can be done by the agents themselves versus needing to go and get specialized photographers and trying to arrange a time to go and set up the tour. Next, you have just enabled a new potential customer journey that is more aligned with current customer preferences. Busy agents can now direct leads to start with the MaJaView virtual tour. After all, this is a tour where they are still walking through the property themselves and explaining the benefits, meaning that the viewer is building that lead and connection with the agent. And in fact, many people would prefer to view the initial viewing of an apartment from the comfort of their home in their pajamas versus trying to go and deal with everything that we talked about before. The interesting implication of this is that you are now winning even when you are losing in terms of a person not selecting to move forward with a particular property. How does this work? Assuming you are a good agent, when a client views one of your MaJaView virtual tours, they're going to get to know you better and the value that you can provide. They're going to gain a connection with you and earn and build trust in what you can do. So that even when that particular client says, okay, maybe this property isn't right for me, they're still going to want to move forward with you as an agent or as an agency because they now have trust in the type of value that you can provide and the knowledge that you have. The only thing that you wasted is a half day driving around town showing an in-person viewing to a client that was never going to purchase that property. A frustrating experience for the client and for the agent. Instead, you can use MaJaView to scale your selling so that you're giving virtual tours to people 24/7. This has the side benefit of freeing up time for other more impactful sales activity, or maybe just to give yourself a breather and get some time to relax. These virtual tours are easy to use, self-supporting, and available on demand. They allow the viewer to view the property and move around as desired, or with a single click of the button, play through an entire walkthrough as if they were going through the property themselves. In the end, not only are you going to end up with more leads, but these leads are going to be much closer to closing because they know what they're interested in and they have faith in the property and in the agent. So what does this mean for the future of real estate? It means technology like MaJaView is finding ways to build better connections with prospective buyers in ways that they are interested in. It allows them the freedom to explore properties remotely, on demand, and then, when ready, move forward with an agent and agency with confidence. In the end, the future of real estate is going to be enhanced with technology such as MaJaView that enables you to build better connections, and enhance the sales experience in ways that the buyer would prefer. So if you want to stay competitive in today's market, it's time to embrace the future of real estate and start leveraging technology to your advantage. If you made it to the end, thanks for staying. This is one of our first videos in the real estate topic. Let us know what other types of areas you are interested in, or if you have other ideas, please let us know. If you take a moment to like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. Have a nice day.